Religious and traditional rules of modern dating and understanding women, it's complicated. Love their videos. One of my reactions on them got exploded views, so I'm not gonna spend. Just kill the mosquito. I'm not gonna spend any extra second on it. Let's fly right into the video. Sure.
Do you think politics and religion matter in a relationship?
Yes.
If so, why is it often said not to discuss them on a first date when it seems to be the first thing you'd want to talk about?
Because people don't want to engage in the real you on the first date. That's the harsh reality. People are afraid to be them on their first meeting. Like, you never talk, political and religious opinions, they become such a deal breaker that often people are just afraid to immediately express them with someone. Plus, a lot of people can be misunderstood depending on which political side you support. People are gonna view you in another way. And I face it a lot, actually. I face it a lot. There are a lot of stuff that I don't talk on the first, not only date, but even meeting with people. Because I know that if I say it, they're gonna get the wrong opinion of me and it's gonna be harder to then switch it. So it's better to show them what kind of a person I actually am and then tell them like what I think on such controversial questions, let's call them like this.
Because on the first date, you're told to be the very best version of yourself. It's often a bit of a facade. You're putting out, you know.
Afraidness of other people's opinion, because I mean you went out with a girl, so you probably want her to have the best opinion of you. And second of all, kind of like relaxedness. So if he talks specifically about the first date, yeah, you don't want to have a head blowing debate on it. You want to relax, chill, all good.
Your best foot forward, and you don't want to scare people off or get like have anybody have the wrong intentions and get into any kind of heated arguments. Religion brings a lot of heated arguments and passion about people, and I think sometimes you just want to keep it lighthearted.
Maybe not the first date, but a few after. I feel like it's crucial. I mean, you can't have a relationship with someone if you don't have the same values and views on things.
Yeah, true.
I have to know their values first. We're like pretty big Christians, so we gotta know their values.
Okay.
So if a person avoids politics or religion on a first date, can you assume they don't want a relationship?
Somewhat.
No, I think they're just afraid. They're literally, I believe, like 80%. Okay, yeah, that's out of the mind, but most of them are just afraid. Or they're either afraid or they want to they don't want to scare you. This is actually also true. Believe me, I've I've scared so many people with the first impression. And we often even have this rule about me that if you get to talk with me 5 minutes, you're gonna get along with me. But you need at least them, because if it's less, people are not gonna understand what I'm talking about and what I represent of myself. So I think it's this scariness part, the scariness of someone, the afraidness to scary someone out, and the afraidness to be wrongly understood.
Because you don't know what they really want, if they want to hook up, if they want to be with you. You just don't know.
If a person does bring up politics or religion, can you assume they do want a relationship?
I never look at the date as someone who wants a hookup, so he goes on a date. Yeah, that's why I don't even consider it. Let's skip it.
Yes, because they want to know your character. They want to know, hey, maybe I want to know if this is the person for me in the future.
Well, the church believes in marriage, and the church gears people to think of how to date and how to get married. It's very geared towards doing that.
What value does marriage still have in a secular society?
For me specifically, I believe it's still
Values. Morality. That's what it has.
is religion, and is based off of love. This is the standard that we can be within as Christians or any other religion that you believe in.
In the Bible, Eve had the entire Garden of Eden to herself, essentially paradise. Yet she still had to have that apple. What can that story teach us about female nature?
that they just don't listen. Well, God said that the woman is a weaker vessel. It's in the Bible. And he doesn't mean that to put a woman down in any way.
No.
It's just her nature. And that's why the serpent was able to beguile Eve and not Adam.
Can we conclude that you can give women the world and they'll never be satisfied and only want what they can't have?
Yes.
Yes.
So why should men even bother trying to please women if they're never satisfied?
Because they are still satisfied, you know? It's just that dissatisfaction passes faster, I believe, than for a man. You know, they are satisfied. But yeah, the new toy gets out in the world every year. So you gotta keep her more satisfied. But they are satisfied still at the end of the day. This is like a tricky way to also put this question. But it's not a bad way. I like still how this channel puts it.
Honestly, don't know because women always want like hella shit.
Since Eve was the first one tempted by the snake, why does society shame men more for giving in to temptation than women?
Wow.
A lot of people don't believe in God. They haven't never read the Bible. How would they know?
That's some really good questions, man. Well, society might do that, but even though Eve was deceived, Adam was still accountable. He was still responsible because he was responsible for Eve.
I would say this. It depends because when God created man, he created him first to tend the land and he told him what not to do. And then Eve was created from the rib. So after that happened, you could say that man had the responsibility to tell her, but it was up to her to sin.
Why is it all on the lady, though?
Because she committed the first sin.
But he did it as well. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter. She brought it to him, so he trusted her, and he was wrong for doing that.
But is Adam not the first one created? Like, he's supposed to have some in here, too, that's telling him, like, I ain't supposed to
what does Adam being the first one creative have to do with who created the first sin?
That's very important. He created the man first, as what I was saying before, that the man's supposed to lead, because this all...
What is the biblical story of...
If your argument ends up with, it's not a good argument.
Lilith, and why have few people heard of her?
I wouldn't say it's biblical. It's more of Jewish mythology, and they consider her to be Adam's first wife. She went against him. She didn't want to be controlled, and that's where feminism came from.
I mean, who was really there to document Adam and Eve, right? But it's a concept, truly, that everyone has attached to, a myth that everyone's attached to.
Yeah.
Man wants the woman that walked away from him. So it's almost like a sense of revenge.
Why is there more religious pressure on men to be providers than there is religious pressure on women to be virgins?
Because I'd say society's pretty hypocritical and sexist.
Because we have feminism, which tells you your body's your body, and we've never really stemmed away from the Bible where men were created to lead and tend.
I feel like men have a lot more pressure than women to like provide and try harder, and women have a lot less expectations. So
why is prostitution mentioned more in religious history than actual history?
Well, with religion, I believe it is true history. But back in the day, in the Hebrew word porneia, it came from the root, which means porn. And back in the day, people were looking at porn, watching porn, having sex with prostitutes in the Bible.
Why does religion frown upon sex when people are more likely to praise God while having sex than in church?
Oh, that hit hard. That hit so unexpectedly. Let's just drop in what they have to say.
Wow, that's a really good one. Okay.
I don't think he's
because people have sex more than they go to the church nowadays, probably.
somewhat, or we don't frown upon sex. We frown upon the boundaries of sex, which should be in marriage. I believe marriage is sex.
Nice.
Can people have morality without religion?
yes,
Where does morality
Where
come
did
from?
this come from? Yeah. Just
I feel
want
like
to ask.
morality just comes from yourself, like
Where?
your thoughts, your beliefs. Like
Where?
it depends on who you are.
Morality just comes from
Just comes from where? Where am I taking it? What do you mean it comes from me? Where did I get it? Was I born with it or what?
doing the right thing, not stealing things, not causing trouble with people.
Again, why not causing trouble with people is morally wrong. Like, where do I get this idea? That's why I say that there's no morality without religion, because you need to have something higher upon yourself that is stopping you from committing all of this. Because if you're saying this because it's wrong by the law, well then what? Law is your religion probably. But then again, there are a lot of stupid laws that a lot of us don't agree with. So, and we break them. Yeah, for example, that's what a lot of the times makes us cross the road on the red light, because we don't see it as something morally high. We don't see it as something morally wrong to cross the road on the wrong light. So where again does this come from if not from religion?
People not bothering people.
Religion means different things for different people, and whatever they believe in is what they believe in.
Can you think of any type of human interaction or relationship where the golden rule isn't the best policy?
No.
So then why do we need religion as opposed to just follow the golden rule?
1 second, guys. I really need to. I think I know what he is talking about, but I just need to be specific on this one. Golden rule. Okay, yeah, I got it, what the golden rule is. Yeah, I just didn't know that they call it like this.
Well, we don't need religion.
I think religion can be a certain rigidity and rule that might even block your own spirituality from growing.
Because religion's a hoax. They're just trying to make us all restrained, and it's been going around for hundreds of years, and modern day society doesn't believe in us.
Can people have morality without religion?
No.
Yes. There is. You can make up a religion tomorrow if you wanted to.
Clara, preach it.
You can make it up. Amen. Religion was made up by people hundreds of years ago, and we just still believe it now. I can make up one tomorrow, and you could all believe it.
No, because it's good. You have to convince people it's real. That's the thing about religion. People actually believe it is real. God is real. Everything the Bible says it's real. People do believe. So if you just go out there and say, "Oh yeah, I can create my own religion," well, yeah, you can, but how do I say this right? You're kind of a bit of a clan right now and not quite a religion. Are you real? To be fair, that's what I would ask.
Are women more likely to believe in things like astrology and crystals than men are, and if so, why?
Yes.
Why?
I feel
No,
like I don't
why?
I feel
Because
like women are just
they're less rational. I'm sorry. This is the hard truth.
more influenced by social media too.
Also,
because
as well,
I find
yes.
that there's more women on social media, and the more like things like this trend, they just kind of follow it.
I suppose so. Couldn't really tell you the reason why, but I enjoy them. I wouldn't say like I'm really into it, but I enjoy them if men are into that.
I think women are more in touch with their feelings, which is linked to zodiacs.
Yeah.
When you were born has nothing to do with who you are as a person.
He just straight up says, "Why the hell do I need
has
this?"
To do with the people you hang around with, the atmosphere you grew up in, you know, things like that. Who raised you as a child? That's more so what has to do with who you are as a person.
Women are delusional. That's why. And they have to hold on to something like false hope, and that's astrology. They want to know everything, and if they don't have answers, they'll find answers somewhere else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Men are supposed to focus more on the material world and providing, and the women
Not just find them, but believe in something that you can potentially believe. If you can find them, a man's gonna look for them way longer.
to go way out there and be really like spaced out about it, you know, like it's there's this expectancy and yet there's a condemnation around it at the same time.
Are women more likely to believe in astrology or believe in God?
God. I think God.
Still God. Still
What
God.
do you think? I don't even think.
I think the internet has made this belief that there are more women believing in astrology than God. But in reality, if you walk outside and talk to real people, they're still way bigger, how do we say this? Way a much bigger side piece of cake. Piece of cake. They actually believe in God.
My generation, astrology for sure.
So isn't it really just one religion replacing another?
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, instead of a god, we believe in the stars.
True.
Religion is based on having a creator. Astrology, I would say, I do astrology. I was in it, but honestly, it's demonic. So it depends on what creator are you looking to.
Nice.
Why do so many men think women were put on this earth to serve them, cook, clean, and pump out babies?
Well, to a degree, that is true.
Because that's how society survived for thousands of years when it was only created, you know, before the big evolutions and before even look at the time before the Industrial Revolution. A lot of the times, you know, it's the man who fights in wars, conquers the world, and he needs a woman who will be there prepared to provide for him. It's just how I think this is how biology functioned. Actually, it's the human nature that was for thousands and thousands of years, and it came to this path even today. But nowadays, thanks to the evolution we've passed, we can see that a lot of the times you can the biology and the nature plays a lesser and lesser role. Lesser, who says lesser? A less role than than it was thousands of years ago.
That depends, because woman was created from a man's rib to be a helpmeet, and we are women, which means we have a womb of a man. So we were made for that, but we're more than that.
Yeah.
Why do so many women think men were put on this earth to serve them, risk their lives, open doors, and pay for stuff?
To a degree, that can be true.
I would say it's the society, social media, but
Probably,
back
yes.
in the day when God created Adam, he was made to tend land and to help her and protect women.
Why should men serve women if women don't want to consider serving men?
They shouldn't.
Yeah, they
If you
shouldn't.
go by the Bible, Eve was considered.
Remember this, guys. A good relationship is when every one of it tries to contribute all the 100% they can and make it as better a relationship as they can. When one is willing to serve the other one, that's the perfect relationship.
Considered to be a helpmate. So if anyone was put here to serve, wouldn't it be women?
Yes.
Are they doing that?
Very badly.
At least a majority are not.
What's more attractive, liberal or conservative men, and why?
I believe conservative for me specifically because they're just traditional and biblical.
What's the difference between liberal women shaming men for being toxically masculine and conservative women shaming men for not being masculine enough?
The difference is with liberal women, again, it can come from the spirit of Lilith, where it's like more feminist. So they just want to talk
It's a spirit that you want to have what you believe in. Simple as that. A liberal woman, more she believes that a guy has to be way more calmed, way more. He doesn't have to be a provider, he has to be more equal. Whereas the conservative woman believes that a guy should be freaking Hercules and be a stronger male, be in a better shape to in life in general. We mean like everything around, not just physical, but being smart, being ambitious, I don't know, motivated, disciplined. Just both of them. The difference between them is actually the how do we say, the criterias of their high value man that they view, because they both criticize him for not being a good man, but they just have a different opinion of what a good man actually is.
about you, make you feel bad. Whereas when it comes to conservative, they're just trying to get you to basically be led where you need to go. Not saying that that's okay, but they're just trying to put a boundary on you.
Yeah.
For some reason, this day and age, it's not okay to be masculine. And
super weird.
I definitely agree. If a woman is saying a man is not masculine enough, he probably isn't. Because a man should be masculine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, in other words, okay, is a man less of a man if he can't change a flat tire?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is a woman less of a woman if she can't cook a meal from scratch?
We're biased. We're women.
No, that's not a good answer.
Yeah.
Do women define
she even
masculinity
said
based
she even understood it's a bad answer. She's like, no, wait a second, go. What you talking to?
on their preferences in men, and if so, how?
Yes, they do. Because, like I said before, it goes by conditions. Like, for example, a a woman would say something like, a real man would pay for my dinner. That has nothing to do with being masculine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that equate modern misandry to feminism and traditional misandry to chivalry?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't both place women at a status above men?
Yes.
Yes.
So just because you're anti-feminist, does that mean you're pro-men?
No.
No.
Do you believe we're in a transitional phase between women being old-fashioned and being independent?
Yes, we're already there.
If so, what are we transitioning to?
Feminism.
I hope we're transitioning to women and men being equal.
We're transitioning into a lot of women being cat ladies.
Why would there be any incentive for women to change when they can currently pick and choose the best of both worlds?
We don't do that. That's a sexist view to think that we pick and choose.
Do you think a woman would be welcomed at a women's march if she's pro-life or has traditional values?
Nope.
Nope.
So do feminists really care
Not
about
nowadays.
all women?
Not nowadays,
or just the
yeah.
women who agree with them?
Just the women
Feminists
who
do
agree
not
with them.
care about women.
So is it really about women's choice?
No. It's about
No,
the women.
because it's not allowing each individual woman to decide for herself. It's not respecting each individual
Yeah.
woman.
It's not equality.
Conforming to a propaganda.
It's not equality, guys. Moral of the story. There's no equality in this life. And I think we're even getting with the last question, where are we heading now? I'm going to tell you where we're heading now. We're heading now to the stage where middle class is going to disappear in general. There's not going to be any middle class. The higher status are going to get higher, the lower are going to get lower. And the middle class is going to die every day into this life. So guys and girls, everyone who's watching this, be the best version of yourself that you could possibly be, no matter who you are, no matter which gender, which sex you are. And believe me, life will pay you off well. This was zynoVII7, and I'm waiting to see you in my other videos on this YouTube channel and also on my reactions. So have a nice day, everyone, and see you anytime else.